Good day to you, my fellow endoskeletons. I'm Kenetor and welcome back for another Starbase progress report. We're on week 40 of 2020, and if you're new here, I bring you the latest news and updates of everything Starbase every Monday. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss out. Now let's get to it. Just to start off, another quick reminder, since I know you're all extremely eager to get into the closed alpha. Currently, invite waves are still on pause. That is until the new tutorial system is in to give new players a better onboarding process to the game. This is hugely important as we have seen a big drop off in players not long after getting invites in the past. This seems to be down to both not knowing what to do in the game, but also a lack of content. I wish I had the numbers to show you, but be assured the devs do, and have made these choices based on the information they have. This is soon to change, however, with systems like station building, factories and salvaging being finished soon. Until then, I recommend making sure you've filled out the alpha survey, there'll be a link in the description, and make an email rule to notify you and whitelist any emails from community@frozenbyte.com. so you don't miss your invite. And no, emailing them won't increase your chances, so don't do it. Please just be patient. Now in this week's Lowry quote of the week, Lowry has once again been very active in talking about progress of the game. So other than waiting for the tutorial to be done, we have a few other systems that are very close to being completed, including the auction house, missiles, station building, basic factories, and gravity on the moons. All of these things will change the game a lot in terms of what you can do and give players more things to explore and design, be it making a station deep in the belt or designing a new meta torpedo bomber. The next few months will hold many exciting changes. Speaking of torpedoes, Lowry mentions they once created a prototype torpedo which can fit an endo inside. I want to know what you guys think of this idea, so let me know in the comments if you would like to see boarding torpedoes in Starbase. Would you risk being fired off a ship with the possibility of either being lost in space or getting the chance to murder the crew and steal a ship? I'm on the fence with this one, so let me know your opinion below. Obviously, ships are a huge center point of continuous development within Starbase, but soon there'll be new features coming like better salvaging, selling, piracy, ownership transfer, and hosting priorities. This one's especially important in fixing host lag on turrets, if turrets can be hosted by the controller instead of the main ship host. Also coming is blueprint chips, which will allow selling, printing, or even gambling the blueprint. I'm sure blueprint chips will see a lot of action on the auction house when it's available as well. Now this has been mentioned before, but again Lowry talks about the combined cable and pipe in one. This can be used to save on budget or help set up larger ships. Many of the pipes and cables people do use are run to the same devices anyway, so this makes a lot more sense to do. Next up we have some info on the upcoming ID system, and part of this will be linked to a reputation system. This system is basically a list you can set up for yourself or your company or faction. Here you will set the reputation level of other individuals and companies, so you know if someone you are at war with or allied with is in the vicinity, once their transponder has been ID'd. What makes this system so intriguing is that you can subscribe to other people's lists, and will certainly be part of the faction meta. I see solo players eventually following the reps of larger factions or alliances like Lodestar for example, making the politics game very real within Starbase. Lowry says because of this, it's hard to abuse the system en masse by bad actors as it's not a universal score, but there is still room for it to be used as a political tool by bigger groups who many people subscribe to. I kinda like the depth this system will provide and will allow you to see the various opinions of players and groups without having to bounce around DMs or discords to get the lowdown on who's who. The ID system itself is run through the ship transponder that will be in-game when it's finished. This device can be turned on or off to allow you to hide as well. This transponder can also emit a salvage signal in either a public or private mode, so only those with the frequency can see the signal. Should you lose your ship, crash or die, you can also transmit an abandon signal to the ship, which will release all ownership of the ship, leaving it free to grab or be salvaged by anybody. Another big update we just got in game is to the armor for ships. This quote from Vil shows how the system has been overhauled, with the armor stat now being per kilovoxel and as such now scales with plate size. Not only this, each material now has a minimum armor value, so it doesn't become paper after a few shots. But here is where some players have concerns with the system. Armor acts like a HP system that is reduced on a per plate basis by any shot strong enough to do so. And right now there's no way to see this armor HP damage as it's separate from the voxel damage. And because you can't see it, you don't know if you need to repair it. Now I'm sure we will see some further additions and changes to this system, but it is without a doubt in a much better place now, and work can begin on refinement and balancing. Now onto the progress report. The main design features worked on last week were Ore Collector's adjustable power consumption design has been finished. The Universal Tools usability improvements regarding ship blueprint have been designed. Armor system testing is underway, values have been fixed and tested based on feedback. In material design, density values of heaviest ores have been fixed to make them less painful for ships to carry around. And first phase of transponder redesign has been completed and code tasks were created. In station design this week, Duratech Spaceship Shop has been added to the starting station. Crusader's Nate has been placed back into Ockham Industries Spaceship Shop 2. Duplicate ships, the Vigo, Port Authority Shuttle and Marino have been removed from Rando Spaceship Shop 2 and Ockham Industries Spaceship Shop 2. And once again we have some new player spaceships have been added. The Salamander, the Transference was updated, the Consultor, the Martok, the Mitosaur, the Walter, the Kamos Badger 28, the Bumble, the Worker Ant, the Marmot TNK, the Modulus FR, Modulus FN and Modulus, the Markov Type 1, Javelin and finally Imerius. And lastly we have two very telling updates for player made stations, with station part count limit added to the Mega Station Designer and station build area limit added to the Mega Station Designer. It's nearly here folks. Now onto the gameplay updates. Work on station building continues, work on ship-to-ship resource transfer also continues, and work on the repair job continues as well. A fix was made for the player velocity to not start immediately decaying after unseating with the mag boots turned off. Sound manager anomalies related to frequently changing sound sources being handled as a combination have been reduced. Frame integrity now detects chains of poorly connected frame beams, further reducing, for example, the exploitability of replacing long beams with several short ones. A fix was made for angular forces being produced on other objects by thruster exhausts, and pushing things with thruster exhaust has been made less stable. This week's UI updates are: a fix was made for item shop not having saviour for preview, a fix was made for the item cell panel not updating icon, a frame for test flight mode tooltip was made and tested in a few places that could be used to open it and close it, and the implementation of dialogue for test flight tooltips has been started. Audio has just one update again this week, with Bullet Impact sound system has been worked on. Starship Creator updates this week are: design for thruster device field automatic naming to match main flight computer in Spaceship Designer was finished. This will certainly help everyone set up their ships faster, and a great quality of life update here. Virtual mass for ore crates in Spaceship Designer has been worked on, allows testing how cargo mass will affect a spaceship's durability and behaviour. And again, this is another big quality of life update for the ship designer, helping people make sure their ship works in all conditions. And rotating multiple objects in local space now chooses the local space of the latest chosen component. This week's animation changes are: work on remote explosive animations continues, work on first person emotes also continues, new rifle fire animations have been made for third person, and the rummage animation has been polished for third person as well. Just the one station art update this week, with floating holograms have been removed around the work hub. In this week's weapon art we have updated mining saw effects by reducing them in size to make them less prominent and dominating over the action, updated pickaxe hit effects to be quicker and sparks more random, and updated the mounted laser hit VFX to be more stronger and intense at the point of impact. And other updates this week are: new upcoming armor set Praetorian, Strix armor set texture quality has been polished and paint jobs have been updated. Adamant armor set texture quality polishing is in progress. Large ice asteroid tests are underway, a new version of the audio signal device was made, and all Spaceship Designer asset icons should now be finished and assigned. There's no feature video this week, but don't forget, if you do get into closed alpha, be sure to send any funny or awesome clips and recordings my way for a chance to be featured on the channel. Feel free to contact me via Discord or come jump on my Discord server, which is also home to my faction, the K-Bots, should you be looking for one to join. As always, please smash that like button, share this video with your friends and faction, leave a comment with any questions you want answers to, and I'll see you in the next one. Kenetor, out.